when my grandfather passed away. I was raised by my grandmother and my grandfather.
Okay.
And my grandfather, who really, you know, he knew I was a really good athlete, but he instilled the arts into me. You know, he worked on the railroad, so every time he would come home, he would bring me a trumpet or he would bring me a guitar. You know, he would always bring me something musical. Then he bought a piano. So he wanted to keep my artistic self alive and keep it going. And I remember one day coming home from school, and everyone was at the house, you know, at my grandma's house, and I guess they got news that my grandfather had cancer, and he was in the last stages, and I was the last one to know about it.
Wow.
Because of our relationship, how close we were. And so he had the bag on and he had everything laying in the bed. And I remember missing school, just sitting there with him, talking with him, massaging his feet, massaging, you know, his calf muscles and everything. And I would do that I did that for like a month. And then one day I went home, you know, to continue the routine, and he wasn't there. And I got the news that he passed away, and I couldn't even see him before, you know. He passed away that day while I was in school.
Wow.
And I say that really scarred me because that was my first time experiencing death as a kid. And my grandmother had 6 of us. She's by herself. My grandfather passed away, so it was really challenging. Being in the same house, waking up, you know, he's not there. But there's one thing that he told me that really helped me, you know, just get over and keep going, was that he said whatever you believe in life, whether it's acting, music, or sports, he said, don't quit. He said, don't give up, don't quit. He said, it's an emotional roller coaster. You're going to have your ups, you're going to have your downs, but don't quit. And he told me that the KFC, Colonel Sanders started KFC when he was 72. So he said, if he can wait that long and keep pushing, I shouldn't have a problem. And keep pursuing my dream and keep going. And yeah, and so he was a great, great man, you know.
What was his name?
Charlie Talbert.
Okay.
Yeah. Geechee from South Carolina.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, he was
okay.
Definitely special person. I had just turned 8.
Okay.
And he passed away when I was 8. He got sick when I was 7, and I had just turned 8 when he passed away. For me, I couldn't believe that someone is not going to be here anymore. You know, I just couldn't fathom that, like, they're gone. They're like disappeared, just gone.
Wow.
You know, and what the things that I went through dealing with that, it didn't I didn't get angry or anything like that. It kind of woke something up in me, you know, something that when that happened, I knew something was special about me because I became the calm in my family. Like, I remember, like, I cried and cried and cried, and something told me, said, okay, I've cried. Now I got to be there for my sisters, my grandmother, my mom. I got to be there, you know? And so from that point, I just became like, you know, that person that was like, and as a young kid, like, it's going to be okay, Mom. We're going to make it through. It's going to be okay. So I guess it gave me strength in that, and I didn't have anyone to help me with it. I was just locked in my room, crying and crying until I was all cried out. And then something just came over me, and that was like, okay, I can do this. I can be strong. I can do this. I can get through this, even though I don't understand what's going on. I didn't understand death, you know, like that. So I kind of became that person that gave everybody else comfort.
Okay. Were you the oldest?
No, I'm second to the youngest,
Wow.
6 of us.
Okay.
And that's when I knew at that moment, like getting through that gave me it made me feel like I can get through anything in this world. Like nothing's going to bother me, just dealing with that, because my grandfather and we had plans, it's like, yeah, I can't wait to see you on television. I can't wait to see you in the NFL. We had those conversations as a kid growing up. And then, he wasn't there. So all those dreams and everything, um, they still stuck with me. But the fact that I knew physically he wasn't there, to experience those things with him when he poured so much into me.